Hello and good evening. Welcome to Joy News Prime with Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. In our headlines, government urged to consider providing borehole facilities for farmers to reduce the cost of farming. Will engage 1996 best farmer George Alokodongo, who is making a case for government to increase investment in the sector to ensure food security.
I wish that the government can really see key farmers and create more boreholes.
So instead of dams,
can create more boreholes. Can either generate them using generators or use electricity.
Also, new maize hybrid seed to improve maize production in Ghana from the current 2.5 million to 3 million metric tons per hectare. And ahead of the NPP parliamentary primaries in the orphan constituencies, we put the spotlight on Ablekuma Central. I am Mamisi Nyamiche Thompson. Thanks for choosing us. We'll be right back. And as we celebrate farmers across the country, stakeholders are pushing for government to increase investment in the sector to ensure food security. My colleague Eben Sabote engaged the 1996 National Best Farmer George Alokodongo, who is making a case for an increase in borehole facilities for farmers to reduce the cost of irrigation. Here are excerpts of their conversation from Palugu in the Upper East region.
When you go down, we've started. Some have started doing only.
Okay.
But what I do is I have a person. So I have 2 big water pumps.
Okay.
That can supply the whole
area.
The whole 70 acres. The whole area is 100. But we're utilizing 70 at the moment.
So you don't have issue with irrigation?
No. The only problem is that the high cost of fuel.
What do you use the fuel for?
For irrigating. We put inside the pumping machines. I'll open and go with you and you see.
Okay. So and especially with the mangoes, where they have gotten to, do you still have to pump to water them?
Yes. Normally, at this their age, because of the weather here, you have to water at least twice in a month.
In a month?
In a month, you give them water twice because of the harsh weather condition. But we're down south at this age, when it's about 5 years, you don't water them again. All what you do is you keep on spraying and applying fertilizer. Yeah, the fertilizer application on the mango is not like this thing. The mango tree, you dig a hole around it. You see, then put the fertilizer and cover it. And when the water comes, you see that it will shape.
Okay. I see. So how has it been, especially with the mango? Is it difficult?
The beginning was difficult, but up here, people haven't tried mango. I decided to try it. And it's doing well.
10 years or more than 10 years ago, you were declared the best farmer nationally. The former president, Jerry Rawlings, gave you all the necessary equipment, the cash prizes, stuff like that. How was it like? I mean, what went into that? What were some of the farming, products that you were harvesting or you were cultivating before getting this?
I had a 300 acre rice field at a condition. Then here, the whole area is 100 acres that I cultivated 50 acres of maize. Then I did a sorghum, 30 acres. Then I had cowpea and cowpea and soybean, 20 acres. I have a cattle ranch too, numbering 250 cattle.
Wow.
Not the local type.
Okay.
The Burkina type. So I harvested a lot of maize and rice that I used to supply to seed company. Most of my products were seed. I specialize in seed production. So if I produce maize, it's satisfied seed. price certified seed, so that I send them to seed company. They clean, we bag them in kilos, so 1 kilo, 5 kilo, 2 kilos, for sale to input dealers.
Okay.
I had input dealers who will come and take it, lift it from me.
I can say by then you were a young man, so.
Oh yes, very young.
There.
I won that. I was then about 45 years old. 44, 45 years.
Okay. So
1996.
Okay.
Actually, I was an accountant, working with Accountant General. I resigned in 1984 and went into farming.
Wow.
And since then, I haven't regretted.
So you're a chartered accountant?
Yes. I resigned at Accountant General as a principal accounting officer, 1984. I resigned and went into farming.
So does it mean the farming is paying more than being an accountant at the Accountant General at the time?
Exactly.
Can that same story be said?
Currently now, no, because inputs have gone up very high. Secondly, too, the soils here are depleting day in, day out.
The polygon source?
Yes.
Sorry,
Not only the whole upper east region, upper west, part of northern. See that the soil, we have been utilizing the land for long. Now when you go in, either you apply more fertilizer, which is very costly, and the ordinary farmer cannot afford. First, you used to do 1 acre, 1 bag of fertilizer. If you go down, we've started. Some have started doing only.
Okay.
But what I do is there's a man-made lake here. So I have 2 big water pumps.
Okay.
That can supply the whole of
the whole area.
The whole 70 acres. The whole area is 100. But we're utilizing 70 at the moment.
So you don't have issue with irrigation?
No. The only problem is that the high cost of fuel.
What do you use the fuel for?
For irrigating. We put inside the pumping machines. I'll open and go with you and you see.
Okay. So and especially with the mangoes, where they have gotten to, do you still have to pump to water them?
Yes. Normally, at this their age, because of the weather here, you have to water at least twice in a month.
In a month?
In a month, you give them water twice because of the harsh weather condition. But down south at this age, when it's about 5 years, you don't water them again.
Okay.
All what you do is you keep on spraying and applying fertilizer.
Now, head of programs at the Peasant Farmers Association, Bismarck Osotete, says the government must increase investment in the agricultural sector to ensure food security.
The PFJ, I think the ministry started very well. This minister at least tried to do a lot of engagements and consultations to get feedback from stakeholders. We like the approach that is value chain based, in the sense that the interventions are not starting and ending only at the provision of inputs, but providing of services like mechanization up to warehousing and markets. So that's good. But we are beginning to get worried regarding how the ministry wants to implement the PFJ 2.0. And if you are not careful, you might go back to the days of PFJ 1.0. And let's give me a minute, let me just explain. Under the PFJ 2.0, if you read the implementation modalities, the plan is that the government is going to work through what we call the anchor farmer or the aggregator.
Right.
Meaning, the aggregator is responsible for providing inputs and services to the smallholder farmer. So meaning, government comes nowhere close or nowhere near direct provision of inputs. That's the plan of the PFJ 2. So for us, it was a bit shocking when we read in the 2024 budget that government had already procured seed and fertilizer under PFJ 2 for 2023. And that's a bit shocking to us because there's no way in the plan that government is supposed to do that. In any case, for 2023, the ministry just about 2 months ago laid an expression of interest for aggregators to apply. The results are not yet in. So on which basis the ministry procure and provide the inputs? And to which farmers benefited? Because we had a lot of discussions with across the country. And it appears that no farmer benefited from this.
I see.
So we are saying that if there is no clarity and transparency in the PFJ 2.0, and we are repeating the mistakes of PFJ 1.0, then it should get to a point PFJ 2.0 may fail. Just as 1.0 is failing.
Interesting points. Interesting points there.
That's an area that if the ministry is really ready to work with stakeholders, there's one thing that is very clear about. There should be transparency in how the PFJ 2.0 is going to work. If there's transparency, we are going to get all of us to work together. But if in the beginning you are trying to hide information or you are trying to conjure figures that cannot be traced or they are not credible, it gives room for worry. And I'm afraid that if care is not taken, this PFJ 2.0 might fail.
Well, still on Farmers' Day celebration, the Municipal Director of Agriculture at the Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly has urged members of the municipality to adopt sustainable urban farming practices. Ms. Sylvia Edem-Ajiman explains that food security is under threat in the face of rapid climate change and scarcity of arable lands. She says it is therefore important for residents in the city to embrace backyard farming driven by technological innovations. Kwesi Adai Kwating has more in this report.
The 39th farmer The 39th Farmers and Fishers Day at the Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly in the Greater Accra region was held under the theme Delivering Smart Solutions for Sustainable Food Security and Resilience. The event identified and honored some outstanding crop and fish farmers who, despite the difficulties, labored to feed many mouths. Speaking at the event, the Municipal Director of Agriculture, Sylvia Edem-Ajiman, explained that in the face of scarcity of agricultural lands in the city and climate change, which are threatening food security, it is imperative for all urban settlers to adopt sustainable and innovative practices to grow what they eat.
In the face of challenges of climate changes, global warming, and scarcity of land for farming, inadequate supply of water for irrigation, and population growth, Ghana stands at a critical juncture in its history of global temperature rises and weather patterns become unpredictable. Agricultural systems are under threat as they are forced to bear the brunt of severe droughts, floods, and high temperature as we are witnessing in the country. Technological innovation has the power to transform agriculture along the value chain, making it resilient. We can also create a sustainable food security and resilient food system by encouraging residents to start backyard garden in their homes.
The Municipal Chief Executive Samuel Ni Eje-Tewia said the Assembly is going to intensify efforts to ensure that individuals and schools adopt these sustainable urban farming processes. He added that the Assembly is also committed to provide the needed support.
I know, for example, that when we were growing up, it was something that we all did. But now, obviously, space is a problem. But there are still some spaces among the buildings in the community. We still have to encourage them. On our part, we should get the Agric department of the Assembly to visit the schools so that first-hand information can be given to the students, and then it is explained to them as to how they can go about it and the sort of support that is available for them.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for the Korle Klottey constituency, Senator Ajiman Rawlings, is also calling for a change of mindset of Ghanaians if the country is to achieve sustainable food security.
If we're really going to push the idea of sustainable food security and resilience, it means we have to have a change of mindset. And that change of mindset cannot happen if people don't actually see the tangible effects of agric in our lives. We have a situation where the chairman for the program today, Mr. Mingle, said something very important, that the department in charge of planning, urban planning, has to be mindful of maintaining some green zones in the constituency to ensure that this particular agenda of food sustainability and food security can actually work out. If we don't have land, if we don't have space, we can't actually succeed in this agric venture.
The awardees went home with appliances and farming input worth thousands of Ghana cedis. Kwesi Adai Kwatin's report read to you.
Now, a new maize hybrid seed introduced by King Seed is set to improve yields in the country from the current 2.5 million metric tons to 10 million metric tons per hectare. Director of Seeds Operations at King Seeds, Maruthi Prasanna, at a brief inspection of a maize demonstration farm at Sika near Nkranza, said the new variety has what it takes to increase production and make Ghana a net exporter of maize in the future. Anas Sabit has more.
The new hybrid maize seed introduced by King's Seeds, a subsidiary of Kingdom Exim, has the capacity to increase the country's present yield per hectare of 2 to 3 million metric tons to up to 10 million metric tons or more. Maruthi Prasanna is the Director of Seeds Operation at King Seeds.
Today, if you see the maize in Ghana, the average yields are around 2.5 to 2.7 metric tons per hectare. So we realized that there is no very good seed available in Ghana to increase the average yields. So we brought in hybrid seed from India through King Seeds and planted both in Ghanaian method where there is less population and also with high population. And we, after 2 months or 3 months, we can see that in the high population, we see the yields can be close to 10 metric tons or more than that. The performance of the hybrids doesn't change with high population. More the population, more the yield. And we can see our vision is to see a happy, smiling farmer.
Maruthi Prasanna is optimistic that the new variety of seeds will, aside the improvement of the finances of the local farmers, also help in making Ghana a net exporter of maize in the coming years.
If you see, Ghana is a net importing country, means what is produced in Ghana may not be enough to feed the people. So now when more and more farmers adopt our seeds, Ghana will become a net exporting country. That will mean a lot of foreign currency will come into the country. So Ghana can export to the neighboring countries after feeding their population, the people, as well as the animals.
Bono East Regional Director of Agriculture, James Adu, who was part of a team of experts to inspect a demonstration farm in Sika, stated that the new variety is capable of helping boost the region's maize production, which is in line with government's Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2 program, which allows farmers to choose from the various maize varieties in the market.
With this high yield, per the figures we are getting, if it's going to give us that somewhere, then when we promote it will creep our maize production. It will increase the maize production, especially yield productivity per acre. So once the productivity improves, then it means we are going to get more food. And with the PFJ2, the Planting for Food and Job Phase 2 that is coming, that is where government is targeting.
Chairman Francis is a farmer whose farm was used for the demonstration of the two seeds, Spring 26 and Tamer 02. He explained that the new King's hybrid seeds will help farmers in the area in terms of yield and asked that it is easy to plant compared to the existing local seeds.
Last year, I look at now, few way now here, omodia brewing, but I mean, fish when you send look at an other than. Just say, he driano, ne matayano, a batam you do. I've seen a mamma Niji who calls some say no boom crown out to say a brood in a woman. It's sa a man a walk on a dorsal sene, first again enemy driano.
Producers of the new King's seeds are, however, optimistic that the new variety is the best option for commercial and small farming because of its high yield potential. Anas Sabit, Joy News, Sika in the Nkranza North District.
Away from farming, let's do some politics now. The governing New Patriotic Party will this weekend hold parliamentary primaries in 113 constituencies to select candidates for the 2024 elections. Director of Elections of the party, Evans Nemako, says all is set for a free, fair and transparent election. As a prelude to our coverage on Saturday, we put the spotlight on the Ablekuma Central constituency, where presidential staffer Jefferson Saki is confident of victory. There's more in the following report.
Ablekuma Central constituency appears to be an interesting seat. Both the NDC and MPP have won it 4 times each, so the 2024 elections will be a make or break for either party. Ebenezer Nate won the seat for the MPP in 2016, but succumbed to defeat in 2020 to the NDC. He is once again considered a front-runner in the upcoming race. But presidential staffer Jefferson Saki says he is the best man to win back the seat for the governing MPP, and he has a strong backing from the constituency.
When I was growing, I saw him on TV. So personally, I like him the way he's calm and humble. So when he came to the constituency, I see him as somebody who can bring people together, and he's been loved by all.
Jefferson Saki has implemented several welfare-centered projects and programs, and that has drawn him to a lot of the constituent.
I witnessed the Jefferson Healthcare on 10th March 2023. He thinking of the well-being of the delegates, especially with their health. If someone does not have the health insurance card, it means when the person goes to the hospital and the person doesn't have money, then the person is heading to the gateway of his or her death.
Just recently, there was an assault case which had to be with one of the polling stations executive. We took him to the Mamprobi Polyclinic, and with the health insurance, we were able to go through the whole thing. At the end of the day, I think the amount we paid was 10 cedis.
I'm a beneficiary of Jefferson Saki's educational support. I had a scholarship to further my master's education at University Institute of Distance Learning. Yes, I had an amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis, which was to pay for my tuition for my master's degree.
He is regarded as the one to win the seat for the party by these constituents. 3 other contenders, Lawrence Anyete Ejay, Brako Amwafo Samuel, and Collins Amwa, are also laying claim to being the best people to lead a party in the Ablekuma Central constituency into the 2024 elections. The question still remains, who will lead the NPP in the 2024 parliamentary elections in one of Ghana's swing constituencies? Samuel Kojo-Brace, Joy News, Ablekuma Central.
It is a contest that has been tagged the Battle of the Limyeri because all 3 contestants are 3 of the 7 Limyeri clans who share the same ancestral roots. 2021 Central Parliamentary candidate of the NPP, Hajia Humu Awudu, for the second time comes up against the Wa Municipal Chief Executive, Ishaku Tahiru Mumin, and businessman and son of Foundation Upper West Regional Chairman of the NPP, Abdul Nayar Ishaku. Joy News Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam takes a closer look at the election in the Wa Central NPP parliamentary primary slated for December 2.
The trio are from the same bloodlines, and for that matter, descendants of the great Imam Yamura of the Limairi clan, a clan that has its roots and great history of unwavering loyalty with the forebears of the New Patriotic Party MPP. Haji Umu Audu is the woman to beat after she popped up in the 2020 primaries and handed her cousin and one municipal chief executive, Isaku Tahir Mumin, a surprise defeat. The duo are putting on their political gloves for an encore of the 2020 primary.
On the first attempt, we gave her the opportunity, and I think that she has tested it. She knows what it looks like. So this time round, we are not going to go with the kids' gloves. No, we are going to go with the hard gloves. If she's not ready to give way, but we're going to go with the hard gloves to make sure that we find a very comfortable place for her to sit down. and then give way for her senior brother to take up the mantle. After all, whatever that she does, she's my responsibility. So wherever I am, but she's part of my responsibility. I'll take good care of her.
Let's wait until 2nd December. We'll see whether it was a kid bruise that he used. This time, I'm also going to put in a very thick one to come and face my big brother.
Haja Umar says her focus on working to giving employment opportunities to the youth and women is a trump card.
If you see the works I've put in on the ground, youth, women, getting them to the other level, I know that the employment level and all other things, I know that the people are willing. The people are saying it everywhere. They are saying the hope of Wa Central. It means we are here to change the narrative at Wa Central.
The Wa Central parliamentary seat has never been won by the MPP since the return to constitutional rule in 1992. The closest they came to snatching it from the jaws of the NDC, and that of Dr. Rashida Sampilpo was in 2016. Issa Kutari moment lost by just the hair of his teeth. The Wa mayor thinks this is the opportune time to make amends.
I feel that this is the best time, for us to annex Wa Central seat and to pick it up from the NDC. Being an old horse who doesn't fear race, we have been in it 2 times as a parliamentary candidate and 3rd time as a parliamentary aspirant. So today marks, the beginning of the end of me being a parliamentary aspirant and also a parliamentary candidate.
Well, the secretary of the party, Deputy General Secretary of the party, Mahama Haruna, tells Joy News all is set for this weekend's primaries. He spoke to my colleague Samuel Kajobris on News Today.
Is set for tomorrow across all the 16 regions of Ghana.
Walk us through the process for tomorrow.
Tomorrow, election starts at 7 a.m. and then close at 2 p.m. Security matters on the elections is solely to be handled by the Ghana Police Service. Election conduct, procedure, and everything is going to be handled by the Electoral Commission of Ghana. The various constituency elections committee will assist the Electoral Commission to be able to have this particular activity done smoothly. All regional executive bodies have been directed to supervise the elections with one national officer assigned to each region. All regions have assigned one person each to each of the constituencies that we are going to run this primary across the country. All in all, we had 113 constituencies. 111 will be going through a competitive election. 1 will be doing acclamation, and then 1 for LMBL.
And that's it for our bulletin. Well, before we go, the Emerging Public Leaders of Ghana, EPL Ghana, says it is poised to groom young graduates for the job market. This, according to the managers of the fellowship program, will help to reduce unemployment among the youth in Ghana. Now, the country director for EPL Ghana, Juliet Adime Amwa, made this known at an event to acknowledge its partners and mark the EPL Ghana's 5 years of operation and making a difference in producing public leaders. Caleb Mensah was at the event and has more.
Emerging Public Leaders of Ghana is a public sector fellowship program instituted 5 years ago. It is aimed at developing skills and leadership potentials of young Ghanaian professionals to enhance their contribution to public service. The program is designed to provide fellows with practical experience, training, and mentorship opportunities within various government agencies and departments. Madame Juliet Adime Amwa is the country director. She throws more light on how far the fellowship program has come.
Right, Emerging Public Leaders of Ghana is 5 years old. We've celebrated our 5 years anniversary. We marked that anniversary on the 5th of September this year, and we launched what we called the 5 years of celebrating impact and in looking at the change that we've inspired in the public sector. Tonight is a culmination of that. We know that over the last 5 years, we've worked with different partners. We've worked with the Office of the Head of Civil Service. We've partnered with the National Service Secretariat. We've partnered with mentors. There have been supervisors who have helped our young people who are usually between the age of 18 and 35.
The West Africa Civil Society Institute is a key partner of the EPL Ghana. The Finance and Administration Officer, Charles Mbugri, described their partnership with EPL Ghana over the last 5 years as a successful one.
Partnership with EPL has been very successful. It's been helpful to us. WAXI is an organization that have a lot to work with, and the team that joined us from EPL have been very helpful to us. We got 7 fellows from EPL this year, and they've all been busy working with us, supporting us to achieve our strategic objective for this year.
A deputy director from the Ministry of Information, Kelvin Elikem Kofika, also shared how the government has collaborated with EPL as a mentor for young graduates.
It's wonderful working with these young gentlemen and ladies because the selection process is very rigorous and the best out of the rest are chosen, so it's wonderful working with them. My relationship with them has been very good. As a Ministry of Information, we've had about 3 EPL fellows we've worked with in the past, and they bring a lot onto the table. I remember a few of them would come and you just be able to write cabinet memos, and it takes a lot of training for you to be able to write these things, but they easily adapt. They are very intelligent and it's easy to work with them. I want to say that in the next decade or 2, I really see EPL making a lot of impact, and their impact will really be felt when we have them in numbers in the Ghana Civil Service.
The event was used to acknowledge and award partners and other key stakeholders who have journeyed EPL Ghana for the past 5 years. The rationale was to celebrate their immense contribution to enhancing quality public service delivery in Ghana. Caleb Mensah's report read to you.
You're still watching Joy News Prime. We'll be right back with business.
Hello, welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Executive Director of the African Bitcoin Conference, Farida Naborima, has revealed that Africa faces a substantial annual loss of $17 billion due to intercontinental remittances. Here is more.
In a significant move to advance the adoption of Bitcoin technology in Africa, the second edition of the African Bitcoin Conference took place at the Kempinski Hotel in Accra. The first day of the 3-day conference was well attended by stakeholders in the crypto community from all over the world. Speaking in an interview, the executive director of the African Bitcoin Conference emphasized the substantial impact of Bitcoin and how it can turn around the fortunes of the continent.
We're a continent where trade is boosting. You want to solve money problems on the continent today. It's very difficult. And a lot of it operates on the black market for so long. It is difficult for you to be able to send, let's say, $1 million from Ghana today to Kenya without going through a lot of questionings from authorities. What are you doing with the money? Who is the person receiving the money? What's our relationship with the person receiving the money? Then they take weeks to investigate. But then Bitcoin is there to make life easier for people on the financial level, to facilitate financial transactions, to reduce the time and reduce the cost. I said in a recent interview that Africa loses $17 billion yearly on remittance fees between African nations. It's not even money that is being sent to Africans from abroad, like outside of the continent. It's like people sending money from Togo to Ghana, from Ghana to Nigeria, from Kenya to Zimbabwe, we cost us $17 billion. That is 3 times the GDP of my country, Togo, which is appalling. But then Bitcoin can help us cost that fee by over 80%. Why? Because you can send $1 million via Bitcoin and pay less than $100 in fees.
TBD, a partner of the event, unveiled TBDEX, a protocol for global transactions using verifiable credentials. Chief Operating Officer of TBD, Emily Chewy, revealed that Yellow Card, Africa's prominent cryptocurrency exchange, will be the pioneering financial institution to leverage TB DEX.
And the first thing that we're launching today that we're really excited about sharing is the TB DEX protocol. This is an open source protocol that really bridges the benefits of the decentralized financial world with the world of legacy fiat money. And so if you're living in a country that's hyperinflationary, it makes it very, very easy for anyone to access decentralized on-ramps and off-ramps to acquire Bitcoin or stablecoin, hold value, hold wealth, be able to transact and gain liquidity across borders. Some of the biggest use cases that we see are in remittances as well as in global on and off ramps. But when it comes time to actually live in the fiat world, if you have to pay taxes, if you have to pay rent, buy groceries, things that aren't yet Bitcoin native or stablecoin native, we make it very easy for you to translate back from the world of Bitcoin and stablecoin into local fiat currencies. And we do this through our network of partners. And this is where our second big announcement is that Yellow Card is joining the TB DEX network as one of our first participating financial institutions, which starts to unlock global liquidity and on and off ramps across 20 African countries.
The 3-day conference, scheduled from 1st to 3rd December, will conclude with an exhibition at the Accra International Conference Center.
Comedian and entrepreneur Foster Romanus has called on individuals in the creative arts industry to strategically align their brands and engage professionals for subject or project execution that resonates with corporate entities. In a yet-to-be-aired episode of Celebrities with Amelie Dosu, Romanus addressed the prevalent challenge of insufficient investment from corporate Ghana in the entertainment sector, emphasizing that despite ongoing efforts to market the industry, many creatives fall short if effectively promoting their brands. Here's more.
I think we're doing the best we can when it comes to selling ourselves, but then I feel we are not putting ourselves there that much. I feel that in
what way?
Promoting ourselves and
you think we're not doing well?
I'm not saying we are not doing well, but it has to be strategy.
Okay.
Brand positioning is strategic. So the artist shouldn't put himself in that position as a brand's manager.
Okay.
You don't play those roles. Get people to play those positions for you so that they do it right. Those that have people doing that for them, you can see that their brand is solid, or it's getting the retractions or the tractions that is needed. So I feel that's where we are like a bit lacking, getting the right people. I don't know which artist does consultancy, goes for brand consulting to know that, Charlie, sometimes you talk to a person, you're like, Charlie, what are your goals? What's your short term? What's your mid term? They don't. But then if they had worked to a brand consultant, and you see, most of them don't see themselves as a brand.
Yeah.
So that's even a problem.
Yeah.
So walking to a person.
And that's it for business with me, Pius Kojo Baka, Jacqueline Asumaya Boy, standing by with Showbiz.
Welcome to Prime Showbiz. I am Jacqueline Ansumayabwa. Now, as part of showing our appreciation for their continuous support, they were there to tell us why they love Joy FM so much, how long they've been listening to us, where they listen to us from, as well as which of our programs they listen to.
I am Cartoon Morning Show by Bodo Dancing, Mama B, and the Winston. Then we have Business News by Gary Kwak. Then we have Sports by Gary. Then we move on to Cosmopolitan Mix by Doreen Ando. Then we go to Uncle Ken for Ignition. Then we move on to Lexington for the drive time. Then we move back. We can also talk on the weekend. We can talk of jazz on joy. We can talk of news file by Ayene.
Well, the Joy FM listenership promo is still ongoing, so get to see which of the finalists would win. They will have the winning place this year. Now, Ghana in December is something a lot of people look forward to. Well, the Dirty December in Ghana has already kick-started, and we'll make an effort to stick and stay with you and give you some interesting updates on what you need to know this December. Here are some of the events this weekend you should look out for. Well, there are a lot of weekends. There are lots of events to look out for this weekend. This is Tema, and of course, the Made by Grace concert, and we have a lot more this weekend for you. We'll return right back and wrap up with Mamisi.
You're still watching Joy News Prime, and the 39th Farmers' Day celebration is ongoing live with the Vice President in attendance. Let's cross over now and listen to you.
About their research that allows remote injection of fertilizer into our soils from the home of the farmer using their mobile phone. This is where we are going. Our academics, our researchers have the brains to take us into the smart world of the 21st century. And I want to applaud DUMAT for what they are doing. Nana Chairman, following a thorough review of the Planting for Food and Jobs rolled out since 2017, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, under a very dynamic new minister, Honorable Brian Achampo, has developed a successor and second phase of the program known as Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0. The new program was launched by the President in August this year in Tamale. The Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0 program holds a lot of promise for the food and agricultural sector, given the valuable lessons shift from the input subsidy credit system. The program is designed to deliver smart solutions to catalyze growth and transform the food and agricultural sector. The input credit system opportunities along the agricultural value chain by ensuring a strong link to a structured market under the program. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a full implementation of the program is bound to be a game changer that will fully unlock Ghana's economic potential through the agricultural sector. As a startup activity in rolling out Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0, the government has secured over 60,000 hectares of land for the establishment of agricultural zones in Eastern, Ashanti, Upper West, Northern and Northeast regions. In 2024, government would complete the development of 50,000 hectares of land, inland valleys, to expand the areas under rice, soya and maize cultivation. Additionally, work has begun for the commencement of the development of 7,100 hectares of irrigation infrastructure in economic enclaves within the agricultural zones. Nana Chairman, we have set ourselves ambitious but achievable targets for every year of the 5-year period of the program. For example, we expect to increase our self-sufficiency of rice from the current level of 48% in 2022 to 72% by 2025. and 106% by 2028, and poultry from 5% in 2022 to 22% by 2025 and 111% by 2028. We strongly believe that by design, the Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0 will create greater awareness about Ghana's agriculture and attract the needed investment from both domestic and international investors. Nana Chairman, the important role of all stakeholders in achieving these set targets cannot be overemphasized, starting with our gallant farmers and value chain actors who have been working under challenging circumstances, especially in recent times. We believe Planting for Food and Jobs provides an opportunity to scale up their activities through the input credit system. For the youth, this is a chance to embrace the program because it removes the barriers that prevent entry and participation into the agricultural business. To our financial institutions and our revered chiefs, I've had a one-on-one meeting with you, and I will continue to urge you to support the program because without financing and requisite land for development, the program will not achieve its targets. I also want to acknowledge the continuing support and cooperation of our development partners in the transformation agenda of this critical sector of our economy. I have no doubt that you will continue to support the sector by scaling up your financial support and sharing your enormous experiences. The Minister for Food and Agriculture has stated very boldly that Ghana aims, and we've set a target under Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0 to achieve food self-sufficiency. That is an ambitious target. Make no mistake about it. It is ambitious, but by the grace of God, it is possible. It is possible. It is possible, and we will work hard to make it possible. On this note, I want to thank you all who have worked with the Minister for Food and Agriculture to bring Planting for Food and Jobs Phase 2 to implementation stage, and rest assured that we are firmly on the right path. I once again say Ayiko to our cherished farmers and fishers and all agricultural value chain actors for your unwavering commitment to the cause of transforming Ghana's agriculture. I thank you for your attention. God bless you, and God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
And you just heard the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, at the 39th Farmers' Day celebration, talking about the Planting for Food and Jobs 2.0. And that's how we wrap up this edition of Joy News Prime. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. I'm Amisi Nyamache Thompson. Have a good evening.